You know, when these greens started coming out, I talked about how nice it was that these different brands were doing different attempts at greens. And honestly, this is kind of one of the most differentiated stabs at greens we've seen at this point. Immunity greens from Arms Race Nutrition. It's been a little bit since we've talked about Arms Race. Obviously, we talked about their Clarity most recently. Awesome daily driver nootropic that we use pretty frequently, helps with mood as well. Before that, we talked about Stabilize. But today we're talking about a completely different area, something that is not very sports related, but definitely can have an effect on your sports. Some greens, immunity, right? You're only as strong as your weakest link, or so I'm told. And if you don't have a good immune system, if your gut health is not healthy, you're not going to be doing too great in your sport. Now, this is not a greens product that is directly at gut health like some other ones have been surrounding, but there are some stabs at gut health in here: a probiotic blend, digestive aid, some psyllium husk. But there's some other stuff in here that I was absolutely inspired by and very excited to talk about. So today, let's sit down and talk about what Arms Race Nutrition did differently with immunity greens. So obviously, differentiation is kind of important here. There's a lot of different greens out there on the market. They all taste great now. You know, there's a lot of different efficacious greens that taste good, a lot of great stuff to choose from. And so what I've kind of said recently and previously on greens is that you have to do something different to grab the customer's eye. And this is especially a factor here because obviously we know one of the owners of Arms Race Nutrition is Doug Miller. Now, he's not the only owner at Arms Race Nutrition. There's also Julian Smith, a very well-known, prominent influencer in the space. But obviously, when you have a brand owner who's involved in different brands, you have to ask yourself, if you have a similar product in two different companies, how do you differentiate them? That's kind of what I asked Doug on our last call, because some of the Arms Race Nutrition products they're coming out with are a little bit different, but within the same category as some Core and America products, right? So obviously we know Core has an awesome greens that we've talked about a decent amount, but what do they do differently with Arms Race Nutrition? Well, the added immunity claim here is a big differentiator for the product, and it's going to be a decent amount of the stuff that we're going to be talking about here. So let's start off, and let's talk about some Psyllium Husk and what it can kick off this product doing. So obviously Psyllium Husk at a 85%, 2,400 milligrams of it, yielding 2 grams of fiber. Psyllium Husk is a well-known fiber supplement. It does a couple different things. It is a prebiotic, so it helps develop healthy gut flora within your body. But one of the big things it does is it soaks up water within the gut and helps make for great passing of bowel movements. I know this gets a little bit, touchy talking about, but Psyllium Husk is obviously very well wide known for digestive health, gut, fiber, moving the mail. And that's why they put it in here. It's obviously the biggest dose of any ingredient here. That's why it's first. But I think that it is a fine addition to a greens product. I don't think we've seen any greens products with Psyllium Husk specifically. Some other fiber sources like inulin are used. But if you have a problem with that, this could be a better option for you. Some people do have sensitivities to those. I'm not saying it's a problem for everyone. I'm not saying it's a weakness of the products that use inulin. But kind of like similar, like if you don't like whey because it bothers your stomach, there are plant proteins as well. Neither better or worse. Here's another option for you if that does bother you. Moving forward, however, we have True Serve, which is a blend of some organic greens. We've got kale, broccoli, and spinach here at 2 grams of total. This is going to be the big greens area here. Obviously, it's called immunity greens. It is much more than greens. There's a lot of other stuff in greens. You got greens on the front. You have to have it somewhere in the product, right? The whole point of True Serve is to offer some select greens with some antioxidants that offer a true serving of greens. For a long time, we've been taking greens products that, while they're called greens, they don't actually offer an actual serving of the things you want from the greens. So out here, you're getting 2 grams of kale, broccoli, and spinach. And while we don't know specifically what we're being standardized or offered from here, because it's True Serve, we do know that we're getting a full true serving of greens here. If you lack the ability, or if you are inefficient, or you just don't like to eat greens, this is an awesome way for you to get in a serving of greens without having to chew it or add it to a meal where it could be taking up space instead of some beautiful carbohydrates. Now, the antioxidants in this ingredient are going to help fight free radicals and improve overall immune system function. But some things that you might expect from here: broccoli is full of different phytonutrients, well known for supporting the immune system and also lowering estrogen. Spinach is often used for its nitrate content, which is kind of interesting. Can actually assist with the cardiovascular system. And Well, kale is just well known. It was kind of memed into popularity. But what most don't know about is that it has incredible gut protection properties. So with that fulfilled, let's move into Epicor, a cult like product with an incredible background. I'm not going to get super far into because I've already done a whole video on it. We have a really great blog post about Epicor. If you'd like to learn more about it, I absolutely recommend that you go watch the video on it because Epicor has an incredible background and is quite an amazing product for immunity. But let's talk about how it actually works. Epicor we kind of see as a multivitamin for the immune system, and it's not a multivitamin. It's actually coming from yeast. It has a whole background in feed for farm animals. It has a very interesting way that it was discovered. I really recommend that you check out the story behind it because it's quite inspiring and interesting of how it came about. But in actual human clinical trials of Epicor, 500 milligrams of Epicor, which is exactly what we have here, reduced symptoms of allergies, increased levels of secretory immunoglobulin A, decreased serum immunoglobulin E, reduce the duration and frequency of upper respiratory tract infections, quickly boosts the natural killer cell activity, provides added antioxidant production, reduces gastrointestinal discomfort, functions as a prebiotic, increasing healthy gut bacteria, similar to Psyllium Husk, and lastly, reduced histamine-induced inflammation. Now, this ingredient's been out for a long time. Like I said, it has a long background coming from a very interesting origin story, but it did gain some notoriety in 2020 for some obvious reasons that I'm not going to mention because the YouTube algorithm will find and definitely punish me for saying the word. That being said, 2020 had some serious reasons for us to be looking into immune supplements, and Epicor was really on the front of that because of all the different ways that it helps. Definitely not something you normally see in sports nutrition ingredients like arms-race nutrition. However, with immunity greens, we're talking about immunity here, and it absolutely has an application here. Now, after that, we have Phytoc, which is kind of cool. I said there's not a lot of greens in here. There's not a ton of greens in here. They're giving us kind of enough greens to allow us to have the servings of antioxidants and nutrients and minerals and vitamins that we need from those. And Phytoc is a good example of that. It's a standardized plant-based blend. It uses 11 different superfoods to provide a natural spectrum of vitamin C and its counterpart polyphenols. Now, these are going to include a bunch of different things like acerola juice concentrate, strawberry green coffee bean extract, green tea extract, maqui, acai, silica, turmeric extract, blueberry, broccoli, kale, and tart cherry. Now, not all of those are green. In fact, I don't know what color acerola juice concentrate is at all. While we do get vitamin C in this product as ascorbic acid, you're also getting it in a natural version here. And we love that kind of dual-headed approach to it because you're not only getting a synthetic version, but also a natural version with polyphenols that help with the absorption and bioavailability of it. In general, it's extremely well known that vitamin C helps with immunity. There's not a lot to talk about here because you probably know that just having been a human on this planet Earth. That being said, you're getting a lot of different versions of it here with a lot of different things that are found naturally in food around vitamin C to help with the absorption of it. There's no reason after taking this product that you will be deficient in vitamin C. Now, after that, we've got Eldermune, which is an elderberry juice concentrate. Now, elderberry, last year we found a lot of consumer reports talking about not great sources of it on the market. In this case, however, we have a trademarked version of it, which helps us trust it a little bit better. That's coming out of a company that has trademarked it. It's standardized, and we can trust it a lot more than just a generic elderberry out there. Now, this standardized version is a 65-to-1 extract containing 3% polyphenols at 100 milligrams. Now, one of the most well-known benefits of elderberry is its ability to help treat sinusitis. I haven't pronounced that one before. Bronchitis as well. Lastly, and most largely, influenza, the flu. Now, this is an extremely strong extract. It takes 65 grams of pure elderberry extract to make 1 gram of Eldermune extract. And research on elderberry has shown that using it can severely decrease the amount of time that it takes to recover from the cold or the flu, as well as the symptoms while you're recovering from it. No surprise that Arms Race Nutrition has chosen to put this in the product because of how effective it can be. So last two ingredients here, we have some stuff to help with gut health as well. The Digestive Blend here is at 100 milligrams. It contains protease, lactase, amylase, and lipase. It can help with starches, lactose like milk, protein, and lipids. Pretty much anything you're digesting, it's going to help out with it. Because after all, if you're not breaking down, utilizing your food, well, you're not performing like you should be if you're an arms dealer. And lastly, the probiotic blend contains a large different spectrum of different probiotics. I am not going to attempt to to read these to you because if you watch my videos, you know how horrible I am at pronouncing these, but you're getting 5 billion CFUs of probiotics here at a large different spectrum, which is going to be really helpful. A lot of greens don't contain probiotics. Some do that are a little more focused straight just on gut health. So this isn't crazy different, but I do like to see the spectrum of different things here, from fiber to actual servings of greens to real immune boosting products like Epicor, Phytoc, and Eldermune, as well as at the end here some gut health stuff with probiotics and digestive enzymes. A recent study on probiotics even showed that it could help with mood stabilizing and dealing with anxiety. We're finding a lot of different connections between the gut and the mind, which is really important to note. There are a lot of different greens blends out there that may focus on gut. However, I like that this takes a few different focuses, especially as we enter into flu season, which there are more than one ingredients in here that actually can specifically help with dealing with the flu. Now, there are some added vitamins and minerals in here. You got vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc, selenium, copper. I love seeing vitamin D in here because there's a lot of different benefits, from recovery to testosterone to dealing with sickness. Vitamin C, obviously, we already talked about. I like that the zinc, the selenium, and the copper are all tracks, except for selenium, which is Albion. But both of those different companies for sourcing of minerals are very high quality. All chelated minerals, which is awesome to see. I'm just happy to see a differentiated greens. A lot of them are starting to look alike, even with the different versions coming out. As we go into flu season, this is definitely going to be something I'm keeping on hand. It's not something I might use all year round because I do actually try to eat greens at some points in the year. But at different points when my diet becomes, overburdened with protein sources or high amounts of calories and it's hard for me to get those greens in, this is definitely something I'm going to look towards to make sure that I'm staying healthy while getting in my greens. I definitely have been a victim of that mindset of looking at macronutrients and not micronutrients. And especially during those times, I have a habit of getting a little more sick because I'm not taking care of myself as well, because I'm focusing just on the weight in the gym and gaining weight in the kitchen. So stuff like immunity greens, very excited to add it in. The lemon rush I haven't tried yet, but I'm excited about because in the morning, if you add lemon and apple cider vinegar together, it is obviously helpful for the gut. So this might be able to fit into that stack a little bit without having to have too many drinks. I'm not a fan of making a lot of different drinks throughout the day. In any case, I do have to say, we got these for free. We do have a business affiliate relationship with Arms Race Nutrition. Yeah, there's some bias there. But I hope this was informative. I hope this was a breakdown that was helpful. We strive to make actual content that is actually helpful. I'm not just telling you about a review or how this feels, especially because you really wouldn't feel too much about this. So if you do like the video, do me a favor, leave a comment, like it if you're on Instagram or YouTube. And thanks so much for watching. As always, guys, I really appreciate making this far in the video, and have a great day.
Welcome to PricePlow.